5 ways to reduce deuterium in your mitochondria in the places that it's not supposed to be without drinking deuterium depleted water. That's what I'm going to share with you in this video. Now, if you don't know who I am or if you're new to my channel, my name's Emmanuel Arabani. I'm a health and nutrition practitioner, and I've helped over 100 men and women use nature evolutionary nutrition to fix their energy, fatigue, melasma, insomnia, MCAS, so many different things. And it's all really nature based, not supplement based, not gadget based. And gadgets are strictly supportive when we have no choice, and supplements, really, for the most part, it's a no. So, how to deplete deuterium? A lot of you asked me to do this, and I'm going to jump right in with the 5 ways. Number one is following the leptin reset and eating a strict seasonal diet, paying particular attention to your food timing. Your food timing must be synced to the molecules that are in this interplay, two-way connection with leptin and everything that falls under it. This is important. This is one of the reasons why that forms part of the core foundation of my 21-day fatigue reboot and why it's the first course that I outlined in super simple, short video fashion because I saw so many clients making mistakes with resetting leptin. The second really big one is turning your home into a sanctuary. This means addressing artificial light exposure at the source. You don't see me wearing blue blocking glasses. Why is that? Because my computer is specifically set up with a custom setting on iris to have blue light exposure down to nearly zero because I have no lights on, because my windows are open, because everything in my house is mitigated at the source. My TV's red, my phone's red, my computer is red, and not in a way that's like f.looks or the automatic setting on iris, for example, is not good because it pumps the blue way too much during the day. If you do it the customized way, you will actually build a sanctuary. And of course, 980 EMF mitigation. My phone lives on airplane mode. If I am connected to the internet, I use Ethernet most of the time. When my phone is on data, I try to keep it an arm's length or more away from me. All these simple tips and tricks. There's other things that I do, specifically the way I set up my phone, all these recommendations. Why is this important? Because non-native electromagnetic frequencies and the lack of a magnetic field changes the vibrations and oscillations in your mitochondria, in your cell membranes, and it allows the heavy atoms of deuterium to get out of the blood because they're supposed to be in the blood and go into places where they're not supposed to be. Number 3, building your solar callus. Your tan, the ability to build a tan, doesn't just detox heavy metals, it also detoxes deuterium and heavy atoms in general. Number 4, drinking carbonated water. Because carbonated water forces your body to use oxygen better, you then improve your mitochondrial function, helping you make more deuterium depleted water in your mitochondria. Plus, carbonated water is super cheap. Number 5, cold exposure, especially with a compression shirt. How does that work? Well, in cold environments, your body releases heavy deuterium water and it dumps it because it's expecting you to feed it with low deuterium water. So you must follow this up with making sure your food sources are aligned with seasonal eating. Make sure they're aligned with choosing your carbohydrates, your deuterium vegetables carefully, making sure you're considering all these things that are part of resetting leptin. So that way, when you do cold exposure and your body begins to dump this deuterium in your water, in your pee, in your stools, and it's waiting for you to give it and replenish its water sources in a low deuterium form, because high elevation and cold weather, your body believes that means low deuterium water, because that's usually how deuterium in water is paired. Tropical exposure equals higher deuterium naturally found in water. High elevation, cold weather equals lower deuterium in water. And with a compression shirt, You also increase your body's ability to sense the Earth's magnetic field and to do all the spinning that happens in your body. I talked a little bit about the spinning on how grief, the effect on grief of my Z axis. I linked that video in the end screen. You can watch that one next. I also talked a lot about deuterium in the video Deuterium, from making you stink to making you croak. I've linked that at the end too. You can also watch that next. So you need the cold exposure, the compression shirt. You sense a better magnetic field. All these spinning components in your body will spin. So the fluid in your brain spins better. The fluid in your joints spins better. Your blood spins better. And the process of spinning kicks out the heavy atoms in the periphery where they can then be eliminated. And then a bonus, because I have a number 6 that I want to tell you. So, bonus one is things like vibration plates, loud music that goes down to 40 hertz. Or I shared on my Instagram that I started getting healthier when I was pregnant with my second daughter because I took up a habit that caused me to have a lot of exposure to loud 40 hertz. I started shooting skeet and Tibetan 40 hertz sound bowls. So, why does this work? The vibration breaks the deuterium bond. So, remember that if you remember from some of my content, the deuterium bonds are double the strength as a light hydrogen bonds. And this increase in strength makes it difficult for your body to break these bonds, and your body's in the process of breaking things. Like, that's what it needs to do. It needs to disassemble and then reassemble, disassemble and use and reassemble, and all these things. Deuterium makes that really hard. So the vibration, the 40 hertz vibration, there's good research on that specifically from a lot of very reputable sources and how that affects mitochondria in your brain. But any source of 40 hertz. And the vibration plate is, again, the shaking and the rattling that's helping your body break those bonds that are way stronger than the ones your body would have normally preferred if we're not in such a crappy environment and don't have so much deuterium around. So those are really easy ways. I want to say this. None of that replaces deuterium depleted water if you truly have a need for deuterium depleted water. But there's a lot of people who don't actually need deuterium depleted water. They need all of this first. Or, do this first, then hit up the deuterium depleted water. So if you haven't seen my video on deuterium depletion, check it out along with the other one that I've linked in the end screen, and I'll see you there.